Welcome to Georambles here in Liverpool, one of the most famous cities in the world, and certainly one of the most famous port cities in the world. Liverpool, of course, is synonymous with a number of things. First and foremost, the Beatles, who of course came from Liverpool and really took over the world with their music in the 1960s, and it lives on until today. But Liverpool was famous for lots of other things too. It was a major port city and acted as the main conduit during the Industrial Revolution here in Britain. So the goods that were being produced in Manchester and the other parts of the country would come along the canals and then would be shipped out from Merseyside here along this navigable river out to the Irish Sea and then onto the world. And even today, Liverpool is a major port for Britain. All of the oil comes in, or much of the oil comes in through the Mersey, and lots of goods and services come in through the Mersey as well. This is the seafront, or rather the waterfront here at Albert Docks. It's a little further down. And you can see the fairly ostentatious buildings here, the Victorian buildings that came as profits, as it were, of the industrial era and the era when Liverpool thrived. Liverpool has had mixed fortunes. It was bombed heavily in the war, and in the 60s and 70s it was an area that was somewhat depressed economically and very much a working class city. In fact, that's the environment that the Beatles were born into and came from in many ways. And the music in Liverpool in the 1960s reflected all of that gritty working class environment here. But in the 80s and particularly the 90s and the 2000s, Liverpool has been rejuvenated, and it's received funds from the European Union and from the government, and it's become known for its culture. It was a European Centre of Culture one of the years, and tourism here, of course, has also built up. And so Liverpool has been through an absolute renaissance over the last 10 to 20 years, and now is kind of restoring some of its former glory. If you walk around the centre of Liverpool, you can see a bit further on from here lots and lots of examples of rebuilding going on, things being knocked down and restored, and it's becoming, given its universities as well, a really thriving global city in many respects. So it's not just the Beatles, of course. The unfortunate and dark side to Liverpool, of course, down in the Albert Docks, is the fact that it was a major port for slavery, and there's a dark history there in terms of Liverpool's wealth. But today it's thriving, it's on the way back up, and Liverpool lives again. And of course it has at the moment the best football team in the Premier League as well, so things are looking up for Liverpool. And of course Abbey Road is number one again this week, so a city on the way up again. Cities come, cities go, they rejuvenate, and Liverpool is a very good example of that. Georambles, October 2019, Liverpool.